Before we begin, let me ask you something. When was the last time your mind was truly quiet? Not distracted, not pretending. Truly quiet. Welcome back to The Inner Story channel where every story isn't just heard, it's felt. Today, you're about to experience a lesson that could change the way you think forever. Have you ever felt a storm raging inside your mind? One so loud that even in a silent room, it refuses to quiet down. Have you ever looked perfectly fine on the outside, while on the inside, you are collapsing, bit by bit, day by day, under the weight of thoughts you couldn't escape? If you have, then you already know what Marco lived with every single day of his life. He was only 24, yet he carried the kind of exhaustion you see in someone twice his age, someone who has fought too many invisible battles, someone who has been wounded by thoughts more than life itself. Nights were the worst for him. He would lie down in the dark, hoping for rest, praying for silence. But the moment the world around him went quiet, his mind became louder, memories clawing at him, fears tightening around his chest, regrets whispering, "You should have. You could have. Why didn't you?" And somewhere in those long nights, somewhere between his racing heartbeat and trembling breath, a question kept echoing like a broken prayer. If peace exists, why can't I find it? That question became the first hook life threw at him. It didn't leave him alone. It pulled him. It pushed him. It dragged him up a lonely hill people in the village spoke of only in whispers, because on that hill lived a man unlike any other. No one could ever explain why, but whenever someone met this old man, their minds felt quieter, their hearts felt lighter, like he carried a calm so powerful the world bowed to it. Marco didn't know what he would find, but when your soul is choking, even hope becomes oxygen. So he climbed, higher, 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 until finally, breathless, shaking, desperate, he reached the old man. But instead of wisdom, instead of comfort, instead of the miracle Marco had begged for, the old man placed a simple bowl of water in his hands and said only 7 words, "Walk, and do not spill a drop." And just like that, Marco felt anger rise inside him. Was this a joke? Was this some cruel test? But desperation makes you obey even the strangest instructions. So he walked, and in the very first step, something happened, a rehook he never expected. The water trembled, not just a little. It shook violently between his fingers, exactly the way his thoughts shook inside his head. Every step he took showed him the truth he had never seen. His mind was not calm, not steady, not focused. It was jumping from past to future, from regret to fear, from what was to what if. Never resting, never settling, always shaking. And the more he worried about spilling the water moved. The more he feared failing, the more unstable it became. And then the realization hit him so suddenly, it almost stopped his breath. The water isn't shaking because of my hands. It's shaking because of my mind. For the first time in his entire life, Marco saw the chaos he lived with, reflected right in the bowl he was holding. So he tried something he had never tried before, not running from thoughts, not fighting them, but letting them drift without following them. He loosened his shoulders. He breathed. He focused only on the bowl, only on the water, only on the present moment he was living. And what happened next felt like touching peace itself for the very first time. The water steadied. His hands stopped shaking. His heartbeat softened. The storm inside him, after years of screaming, finally began to quiet down. Step by step, breath by breath, Marco realized something life-changing. He had spent years living everywhere, except the only place peace actually existed the present moment. And when he returned to the old man with the bowl completely full, he wasn't the same person who had started that walk. He was slower, softer, present. The old man looked at him, calm eyes, ancient silence, and asked only one question. How did you stop the water from spilling? And with a voice that felt rebuilt from the inside, Marco whispered the truth that had changed him. By focusing only on the water, nothing else. And in that moment, without another word, the old man gave him the lesson people spend lifetimes searching for. Your mind becomes your prison only when you let it drag you into yesterday or push you into tomorrow. Peace exists only in the now, because your thoughts are not hurricanes. You turn them into hurricanes when you chase them. Your worries are not chains. You make them chains when you believe every one of them. Your mind is not your enemy. It becomes your enemy when you stop being present long enough to hear its lies. Marco walked down that hill differently. Not lighter, because his problems had vanished. Not happier, because his past was erased. But calmer, because he finally learned that the storm inside him was never bigger than the moment he was standing in. And the moment you truly arrive in the present, the storm loses its power. That day, Marco didn't empty his mind. He understood it. He healed it. He freed it. And maybe, right now, this story is the bowl of water in your hands, reminding you that peace isn't somewhere else. It isn't someday later. It isn't hidden in mountains or miracles. It's here, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this moment, waiting for you to arrive. If Marco's story touched something inside you, then ask yourself this one question. What is the bowl of water in your life that you keep spilling because your mind won't let you rest? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want more stories that speak to your soul, remind your heart to breathe and bring peace back to your mind. Hit the like button and subscribe to Do You Know, where every story shows you a truth you didn't know you needed. Until next time, stay present, stay grounded, and remember, peace begins the moment you arrive in the now.